Be starting here shortly. Thank you everybody for popping in. How do the levels sound? Does my mic sound okay? And how's that music sound, that synth? Yes, I'm still aware I need to get that stinger updated. We'll get to that eventually. One day at a time, one thing at a time. There's always something at a time. Thank you right out the gates there. Anthouse Beats, ladies and gentlemen. The Beats Master himself there for that raid. We appreciate that. Right at 6 p.m. as we go live here for a B&B Quickie. Thank you, sir. Hope you're well. Were you getting sweaty on some Apex, I'm guessing, out there, eh? Huh? A little sweaty on that Apex? Was that what it was? Now, again, I always say I'm terrible at shooting games. I'm terrible at BRs, especially. But Apex is one of the best to watch, and if I ever play it, it's fun. I'm just not good at it. Great game, though. Fantastic. If you love Apex and enjoy those kind of games, seriously, check out Anthouse Beats. He plays it pretty consistent in his rotation. It's a good time, man, for sure. You got your dub, AJ. Welcome. Appreciate that. Glad to hear you got your dub. And then bring in here with that heat. So thank you guys. Appreciate that. Welcome to another edition of B&B Quickie here. Thursdays is a sweet spot for me. I usually have the days off. A lot going on recently as well, too. I'll get into that in a minute. 6 p.m. seems to be a pretty good slot for us as well, too. If people out there like different time slots, we're open to that. We're going to move it around a little bit as well, too, as our schedules permit and as what seems to work best for everybody generally for the traffic of the actual show. So, again, thank you for being here. We appreciate that. What's up, Ravenloft? Thank you for stopping in, sir. Good to see you. Hope you're well. So, right out the gate, as we know, we're dealing with a global pandemic still. A lot of things going on. A lot of dial backs in some areas, too, due to, folks not wanting to do the right thing and listen to the guidelines. But that's a whole other topic I can get to, and I will do that more on my personal channel sometime if you'd like to. But to give a little peel back into some reality for me, last week's B&B on Thursday, when we talked about SummerSlam 94, I was not feeling... Dude can test this. I was texting him before the show. I'm like, bro, I ain't feeling good. Like, I wasn't feeling good most of the day. And after the show, I felt completely, like, nauseous and, like, sick. And just, like, sick. Wednesday of last week, I woke up and my lungs felt kind of heavyish, we'll say. And I got allergies really bad year-round and whatnot. But, it was more than I had in a while. Like, it's to the point where, if it's something you recognize separately as an issue, you go, that's weird, right? Thursday, that kind of continued. I went to bed at 11 o'clock last Wednesday night. And I'm telling you what, people, I do not do that shit. You don't find me in bed before midnight. No way, no hell. Nothing. But we had dinner late that night, and I was just like, I looked at the wife and said, I'm going to bed. Like, I feel like trash. Straight up felt like trash. Woke up the next day, felt okay at first, and then had some breakfast, started feeling a little weird. And like, then I had some lunch, and I just, even after eating lunch, I was just like, dude, I do not feel well. This continued throughout the night, to the point where I thought I was having like an anxiety attack, because I was like, what is wrong with me, kind of thing, right? And lo and behold, last Friday, I called my doctor, and she's like, we were sitting there, we're going through all the checkoffs, not to be confused with Star Trek, and talking about, you got too many symptoms to not have a COVID test. She's like, I can't diagnose you with an asthmatic problem, bronchial problem, or fluish problem if I don't get this one out of the way, because we got a lot going on. We got to check to make sure it's that. We move away from that. We do this, get some meds, and go there. I'm like, okay, fine. So I had to have a COVID test last Friday. That was something else, let me tell you. Does it hurt? No. Is it awkward? Absolutely. You cry unconditionally, because I could feel my brain getting poked, right? That was pretty wild. So I still don't know the results. They said, my doctor said on Friday that it would be 5 days. The lab lady, as I'm walking out, says, yeah, it's going to be more like 5, probably 8 days, because we're so backed up. I had 3 or 4 people ahead of me, by the way, for this COVID screening. And I called the doctors last 2 days, and the lady today said, yeah, it's more like 10 days right now. So I'll be very honest with you. My nerves and anxiety have gotten better. I feel better. There are parts of any other given day throughout the day where certain aspects fluctuate and things feel weird. So here I am. Hopefully don't have COVID. Hopefully it's something else. I'm quarantined back at home. It's more frustrating than anything, to be honest with you, but here I am. So right. I really haven't done a whole lot of drinking. I did a couple nights. Matter of fact, Spence said, he was like, you should probably have a drink. It'll help your nerves and calm you down, which he's right, and it did a little bit, so that's why I kind of have been. So it is what it is. Here I am, and Prime is wrong. It was not a hot dog lodged in my trachea, and if that was the case, he's trying to kiss me again. So that's that going on with me right now. Without further ado, first I'd like to point out that this is an amazing film we're about to talk about, that Forge Hammer, one of my best of friends for many years now, when we watched this together in 2011, we were still living together, we were both completely blown away by it. Soundtrack and everything. And it was actually his idea. He was been one of the few that's given me ideas to talk about stuff on the show, so here we are. We're talking about one of my all-time favorite movies, Drive, from 2011. The real should make a sequel called Drunk Driving starring Gary Busey. I'll be honest, I'm into that idea, so whoever you got to talk to, get it done. I'm into that. I'm way into that. So yes, Drive 2011. Now, there's a lot to unpack in this movie, first of all. And I don't claim to be a movie fanatic. I'm not like one of these guys, like, I'm not Siskel or Ebert or any of these kind of guys who can review movies. I'm just a general lover of film, cinema, many things in cinema. I don't really have I do have genres I guess I tend to like more, but there's pretty much a lot of things that I will watch or enjoy or try to enjoy. I just like, as everybody knows, as a fanboy of everything, I like everything. And I really like artsy-ish films, and I feel like that there's a degree of that this is kind of an artsy film. This is a film that really, the more you watch, the more you can sit and really go through and talk about, like, no one of us tonight are going to have the same opinion about this movie. It's so layered, we're all going to peel back different things, and that's kind of part of the allure in these kind of films. Alone, it just alone at point value, it seems like that sounds like a pretty cool movie, right? And then you watch it and you're like, holy shit, what did I just watch, right? What did I just watch? So this is Drive 2011, directed by Danish filmmaker Nicholas Winding Refn. I think I said that right. Some movies of note: Bronson 2008. It's actually got Tom Hardy in it and is definitely a spiritual successor, a remake of the Charles Bronson movie from like 87 or whatever it is. If you're familiar with those old school action films, he's kind of like the average like blue collar like guy. He wasn't like the Sylvester Stallone. He wasn't this big buff guy, just a regular dude in the suburbs ready to kick some ass. Valhalla Rising, which I'm trying to think who was in that. There was a pretty good star. Mads Mikkelsen. 2009, and then The Neon Demon, 2016. Now, dude, if you're out there, The Neon Demon, if we haven't seen that or talked about that, I have not seen it. After doing some research about that, might be something we need to watch. It's some form of like horror psychological thriller, but like it's got this like retro-y look to it. So very curious on that. Gonna put that on the radar too. So the movie's actually written by Hussein Amani. It's based actually on a novel, which not a lot of people realize. James Salala's 2005 novel, just entitled Drive, which is I'm surprised I never really got around to actually watching that, or excuse me, reading that book, because usually when I get into movies like this, I usually get into the source material as well. That's something I like to do. So yeah, there's definitely some of that Vice City vibes. It's the synthy, the kind of retro thing. I'm playing right now some synth music that is okay to be played on stream, not against the TOS. Harris Heller, he's a streamer here on Twitch. He does a lot of different genres as well too, and if there's one thing that people can say about me, clearly I'm a big metal music fan, but I also love synth music, and the soundtrack really has some great synth music as well too. So thought this would be a good backdrop for some music for while we talk about this. So the movie is again, at face value, doesn't seem like it's complex, and really the story's not too complex. But once you start, kind of getting into it, you start kind of seeing how even these side characters is larger than life. And when we talk about the cast, you're like, holy shit. It's a movie's about a Hollywood stunt driver who moonlights as a getaway driver at night, and then falls for his neighbor Irene, who's played by Carey Mulligan. Now, clearly the main guy here, obviously, I probably should have said, is Ryan Gosling. Now, if you're not familiar with Ryan Gosling, I don't know what to tell you, but he's definitely a sexy man. Prime's favorite movie of his would be Notebook. I'm also a big fan of the sequel to Blade Runner as well, too. I thank you, Brojo. Yes, thank you. Hello, sir. I'm feeling better today. I had quite a coughing fit throughout parts of the day, but I took some more meds and I feel a little better. The antibiotics, I think today is the last day for that. So, Notebook, actually, they say it's a chick flick. Come on, not that bad a movie, all right? James Garner, what's wrong with that, right? The movie is classified as an action drama, but here's where it gets interesting for me is I actually kind of it's a modernized Western. It's really kind of like a spaghetti Western film. That's what's really unique about that. And when you watch it, you kind of get those cues and you kind of see that as you go on throughout the movie. And I'll kind of break a little bit of that down as well too. But what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to play the trailer actually for you. We're going to pop that up here real quick and see what you think about that. So apologize for the widescreen. It was actually the only screen I had was a really, really wide.
If I drive for you, you give me a time and a
How's
place.
the volume sound? Okay out there?
5-minute window.
You need to turn the music down?
Anything happens in that 5 minutes and I'm yours, no matter what. I don't sit in while you're running it down. I don't carry a gun. I drive.
Neo-noir Western. That's
So you just moved to LA?
beautiful way to
I've
put
been
it,
here
bro.
for a while.
What do you do?
I drive.
Again,
for
Forge
movies.
Hammer is a big fan. Excited when you talk about this.
That's
So.
dangerous.
It's only part-time.
No, you spelled it right the first time, Prime.
You put this kid behind the
Just sit
wheel.
back.
There's nothing he can't do.
Yeah,
Kid, I want you to
Brian
meet
Cranston's-
Mr. Bernie Rose.
My hands are a little dirty.
So am I.
My husband's coming home.
Where is he?
He's in
Oscar
prison.
Isaac.
There's some guys that want me to do a job for them, and I'm not gonna do it.
What is that you got there?
I don't know who the
One
kid
of
is.
those men gave you that? What's the job?
Sorry.
When you get your money, his debt's paid. You never go near his family again.
He really is. He's really random. Like,
Did you have any
it's not what you
idea there'd
expect
be a
from him,
second
you know what
car?
He said there would be
I mean? Oh,
another
definitely
car to hold us
euphemism.
up.
Oh, yeah.
Whose money do I have?
I'm gonna tell you something. Anybody finds out, we're both dead.
That's why this driver's gotta go, Bernie. He's gotta
That
go.
scene right there. One of the most amazing scenes in any Hollywood film. That scene right there in that elevator. We're going to talk about that briefly, too. That's the scene. Christina Hendricks, one of my ex-girlfriends. Right?
Do you remember this?
No. Any
Dude, I'm
dreams you
telling you,
have,
I just got
plans
goosebumps.
for your
That's how much I
future.
love that
Think you're
movie.
gonna have to put that on
Like,
hold.
just randomly get goosebumps.
For the
just
rest
watching
of
the
your
trailer
life,
for
you're
it.
gonna
Like,
be looking over your shoulder.
yeah, I know. She was getting toxic, clingy. So, there you go. That is the trailer. If you've not seen it, I'm telling you, if that trailer don't sell you, I don't know. Oh yeah, she's a dime piece, bro, and a great actress too. Yeah, Forge. So there you go. So the interesting thing about the character that he plays is that, again, like I said, it's got this westerny feel. Some of the old westerns, some of like the main characters and the leads in that are kind of very stoic. His character in this is very stoic and very silent. Now, during the day, he's not doing anything bad. He's a stunt driver. He's making money. Shannon, who plays by Bryan Cranston, is kind of his point when it comes to jobs and stuff like that. But nighttime it just kind of switches, right? Like he's doing all this just normal stuff, and then nighttime, that's where the real money's at, right? He's driving for heists and stuff like that. One thing to note, and then we'll kind of bust into a little bit more of the backstory. As you see his jacket right there, that is a very iconic jacket. That is that's a Scorpion jacket. You can actually buy that on Amazon. What's interesting about that is that something Forge and I have had conversations about is that, okay, so he's kind of a silent, stoic hero. Is he a hero, or is he a hero? That's a great question, because he's kind of like an anti-hero, right? There's a lot that you have to unpack with that character. He's very, like, he doesn't have a lot of big lines in the movie. There's not a lot of... Ryan Gosling's got range. Similar to, if you've seen the recent Blade Runner, he keeps his range kind of tucked in, but that just kind of fits the character. There are moments in this movie when he's in the same scene with Carey Mulligan, and they don't say but maybe 3 words a piece, maybe, and it's like there's just so much emotion going on. There's so much connection, and you can feel this existential energy, and it's pretty brilliant. And I don't know whether or not that's just in part because of them, the director, or what, but like there's a moment where they're sitting on a windowsill, and it's just like they're smiling and hardly any words, and you're like, Jesus, that's such a huge moment for these characters as well too. But yes, that's almost what we kind of wonder is it's an iconic jacket, Scorpion. Is that kind of like to represent his cape? Not all heroes wear capes, right? But maybe they wear a Scorpion jacket. So that's when you watch it and you kind of see, they get a lot of shots in with it, and there's certain things that he's doing in events that he goes into, and as you see his character kind of grow and almost morph, it's always that jacket's always kind of being shown. So, it's something I would love to hear some feedback if you have seen the movie or haven't yet. When you watch that, to say, hey, is this kind of like representing, his kind of his cape? Because is he a hero, right? The jacket is his cape and cowl. Yeah, Forge, you're the big one that brought that to my attention. Perlman, it's Perlman, right? It's Ron Perlman. He doesn't have a huge role. When he's on the screen, he completely steals it because it's Ron fucking Perlman. Happens to be a best friend of mine. So Shannon, played by Bryan Cranston again, he is his point man to Albert Brooks' character, and gets him jobs. Let's check that out real quick too, so we can get a kind of look at the cast as well too. So again, a huge cast. Ryan Gosling, Carey Mulligan's been she's actually in a show right now, I think, that's getting somewhat of acclaim as well too. She was kind of not a known, like, for not being like this big star. She definitely really fit the role really well. Christina Hendricks, of course, small role again, but as soon as she's on screen, huge, right? Oscar Isaac, like, he is, to me, Oscar Isaac is a guy to me where he's going to be around for many years. He's an amazing actor. Deus Ex Machina, I'm trying to think of the name of that movie that he was in a couple years back, blew me away. Ron Perlman, as always, love Ron Perlman. Bryan Cranston, everybody knows Bryan Cranston as well too. Like, this is a guy who literally, probably take whatever role you gave him and can act his way out of it and win an award, no doubt. He's one of the best. Yes, Oscar Isaac is definitely one of the best X-Wing pilots in a galaxy far, far away. And then Albert Brooks, a man's been around for a long time, typically kind of a tongue-in-cheek funny guy, and playing a... I'll be very honest with you, and we've talked about this before on the actual proper show. These comedian guys that get in some of these darker roles or find these ranges, it's next level. Like, he plays a very... Like, Ron Perlman plays, like, a bad guy, and when he's on screen, he's definitely menacing, but Albert Brooks takes that to a psychological level that really kind of almost blows you away, and you don't expect at all. So, yeah, props to him for that as well. Let me see. Bring up my little mousy mouse. But yeah, so what ends up happening is he takes one of these late night jobs. Okay, or not a late night job. Excuse me. As the driver is getting to know Irene more, he ends up helping out her husband. So he's fallen for this girl, right? This is where it gets kind of interesting. Who, while he's in prison, is getting protection from guys on the outside, guys he used to work with. There's money involved. Go figure, right? Oh, yeah. Albert Brooks is he's Finding Nemo, his dad, right? Yeah, that's funny you say that. I knew there was always something about that name, right? Yeah. He gets in some trouble. Oscar Isaac plays Standard, Irene's actual husband. So while he's at prison, the character that Ryan Gosling is playing starts to like fall for her, and she kind of falls for him because Dad's not really in the picture right now until all of a sudden, whoops, surprise, coming home kind of thing, right? And I'm guessing it's probably because it has to do with some of the money. In this time, when you start learning and you see the driver, he starts to evolve as a character. It's very interesting. It's almost like, he goes from like one end to another end by the end of this movie and kind of comes full circle again. He clearly has never really had anybody near him. Maybe he's never even had a girlfriend or fallen in love. And you see that progression throughout some of the movie, and it's not like completely in your face. It's somewhat subtle, but the way it grows and the way the director like showcases it and the things that he does from his like things that he would like, it's hard to, I guess, explain until you see it. Like, if dude thinks something is fun, he might take you out for a hot dog or two and maybe go see a movie. The driver might be fun, like, hey, let's drive around and check out some cars or something like that, or go see a car show or something like that. So like he somehow manages to be charming in this almost like very juvenile way. It's kind of cute, I guess, if that's the right word. Probably shouldn't say cute. Yeah, maybe not cute. But anyways, so he ends up helping her husband when she gets out, and because he's got some issues, and that's where he meets the rest of it, like Christina Hendricks' character and stuff like that. And they basically got to do a heist. They need to get some money, and it's mob stuff, mafia stuff, the typical stuff. Guys that like Ron Perlman are involved with, stuff like that. And you find out that the job goes wrong, and things get way out of chivalrous. That's a good word for it. Things go way out of control. The job is effed. It's been pretty much, what's the word without really kind of revealing too much of it. Kind of set up, we'll say, So then he's got to deal with that, and that's a whole mess on his hands. And meanwhile, Standard and Irene are dealing with these mobsters that want their money back for protecting him in jail. So he's kind of like on two fronts dealing with this, and then gotta like, oh my gosh, I gotta make sure she's okay. And there is a scene in this movie, and it's very iconic. Whoa, spoiler alerts, I know, right? What's up, Mike? What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Mystic Mike Live. Please, if you can, give that man a follow. He is an ex-Mixer partner here on Twitch. One of the nicest, funniest, chillest dudes you'll ever get to hang out with. He's a great dude. Please give him a follow. Amazing, amazing dude. Mystic Mike is one of my favorite streamers to watch and chill and hang out with. He's just an all-around great dude. You guys, please follow him. And we appreciate you stopping in, sir. This elevator scene, there's so much going on in this elevator scene. So he's kind of got to protect Carey Mulligan, Irene. The lighting, the emotion, and again, no words. It's not verbal. Again, it's not verbal, and it's crazy how many times in this movie there's this lack of dialogue, but yet these scenes are so powerful and so much bigger than the scene itself. The lighting, the emotion, and in this time, even just this elevator ride from one floor to another, there is a complete, almost character growth again for the driver that also kind of brings on new emotion to him, and that emotion for in some ways is shame. And when the elevator door opens and everything's kind of said and done in that moment, there is just so, you just feel it, like you just really feel it. And it's really rare in sometimes these movies, and especially a movie you don't expect it to see this scene that is just so powerful. Like if you could unpack the entire movie and just have it in that elevator scene, that would be pretty much, that would be all you need. You can, I think we could sit here and have a conversation about that elevator scene if you've ever seen the movie. It's such a huge scene for that character, and even for Irene to some degree. But really, it's about the driver, you know. And like when I was watching it the other night for the gazillionth time, I really kind of like I knew it was coming up again, and I really want to take that in because it was something I really just wanted to point out for anybody that sees this movie, is that you almost can feel like throughout the rest of the movie you might not have a lot of correlation with the driver, maybe the characters. That elevator scene is different to me. Like I almost feel like it is a very real, in the moment scene, because like, you know, we all to some degree are, you know, emotional, right? And sometimes we don't know how to navigate those, and he does it in this scene probably how maybe I would do it. You know, and there's kind of some fallout for it as well too, but it's an amazing scene. Bottom line, again, watch the movie. Watch the movie. I'm telling you, watch the movie. Because otherwise, like I said, I talk about that scene for a long time. Yes, and yes, it is about those environments and those experiences that put you in. So, as Dude's alluding to, as well, to the point of music and synth music, for some of us out there that I know Forge is a fan as well too, and Dude as well. The soundtrack to this movie is phenomenal. Now it's it's not what you expect from a lot of movies for being a bit with all this cast. It's I don't know how to describe it besides being kind of synthish, like underground folk rock kind of, you know. It's not like metal, it's not like heavy rock, it's not country. It's just almost like this folkish kind of like underground sound of music and obscure like bands and stuff like that. Like stuff, people that probably do music on other things here and there, but you just wouldn't know it, you know? The big one of note right here is Kavinsky. I say Kavinsky, it might be Kavinsky. The song called Night Call. That is pretty much the main song for this soundtrack. This song has over 200 million hits on YouTube. Think about that for a minute. That's a pretty big, like, one song that has that kind of hits. I mean, clearly it's not Gangnam Style and it's not Psy, right? But that's 200 million YouTube hits, right? That's pretty big for a song. Now, there's a lot of songs that have some crazy big hits, don't get me wrong, but for kind of like a synthish, almost like more obscure song, like to have that kind of hits on YouTube just kind of tells you some of the staying power of this movie and really of the soundtrack at the end of the day. I've been listening to it actually throughout the days. I've been working on some of this stuff, and you know, there's I got it right in front of me here too. Let me see if I can pop it up. I had it on my phone. I was gonna actually do a list of it, but I, you know, completely forgot. Under Your Spell by Desire. It's a great song. The top 3 songs at the top of the soundtrack are the 3 probably most recognized and used. A Real Hero by Collage Electric Youth. Also a great song. Those top 3 songs right there are amazing songs. All 3 of them. And they're completely not anything like each other at all. So alone is a soundtrack awesome. I would definitely tell you to explore some Kavinsky as well too. He's got, now I say he, that's a person on that thing, but you know, they have quite a catalog of amazing music, and if you like synth music like me, I definitely highly, you know, recommend you explore some of that as well too. So and drink every time anyone squints. What is that? What did I miss in the chat? Did I squint? Are you talking about me squinting? So I have bad eyesight now all of a sudden, which has not been really fun. Bring back Stan Bush. Yeah, I know. We all need some Stan Bush in our life, bro. Ain't no lie. Ain't no lie. Oh, in the movie. Gotcha. Right. That's funny. So far as that goes for the movie, guys, that's really kind of it on the actual movie itself and soundtrack and stuff like that. Like, I know Spence is kind of watching it today. Dude is a fan of it. Forge is a pretty big super fan, I know, as well too. He's the reason I'm talking about this today. And this is a movie. I own it. I own it on Blu-ray, twice on digital, DVD. And it's something that I do usually keep in the rotation pretty heavily. Matter of fact, I almost actually watched it again the other night just because I was like, I knew I was going to talk about it. I'm like, I really, really, really want to dive again into it more as well, too. Hey, thank you. Enough said. You're sexy as well. I appreciate that. Thank you. As everybody sees, I'm wearing my Jake something t-shirt, by the way. If you haven't had a chance to pick one of these up or a Hakeem Zane t-shirt, holler at me, DM me, get in the Discord. We'll get you, where you need to go to get some sweet t-shirts for our awesome wrestling friends. They need to have Gosling play Human Torch with Evans. That would be, I'd be all right. So he would be, I think he'd be a pretty good Human Torch. We still don't know a Fantastic Forecast yet, so let's hopefully soon. And to wrap it up here a little bit, for some housekeeping notes, guys. Of course, since I've been home with quarantine, I did beat Last of Us 2 this last Sunday. And, wow. It's a narrative, an amazing narrative, and it's probably one of the most amazing stories I've ever played in a video game, especially in modern times, and definitely ever. I'm completely blown away by it. I am completely shocked of some of the fallout. We can talk about that sometime, maybe on my personal stream a little bit more. I know we kind of touched on it on Banter and Babble proper not long ago, but it is unbelievable, and I was blown away, and I knew it was going to be good. I love the Uncharted series. Naughty Dog can tell a story, and they tell a story better than so many other people, in my opinion. So that's that. I'm really excited that I finally beat that. I use my time wisely. I'm working on Ghost of Tsushima. Tsushima? That's my next kind of big venture right now. Right, yeah, sorry. Yeah, the Crackdown 3 story, still a little bit better, jumping around grabbing orbs. That story is really in-depth, let me tell you right now. Very, very good. Transformers World of Cybertron Siege dropped today, Season 1 on Netflix. 6 episodes running from 23 to 25 minutes roughly a piece. Dude's already watched 2 episodes. I didn't get a chance yet this afternoon. As soon as I'm done with the stream tonight, I'm definitely watching a couple episodes. I'm very, very excited. So far, I'm already seeing thumbs up from a few people. So if you are a fan of Transformers and a big kid like the rest of us here, definitely give it some love. We want these guys to continue to do stuff like this. So please, please, please check out Transformers War Cybertron Siege now on Netflix exclusively. And it's kind of similar to Castlevania. They're going to have these seasons. They're not going to be long seasons. They're short, but we'll get some episodes here or there as well too. So, hey, what up, King? Love you, King, sweetie. You're in episode. Yeah, it's fucking rad. So yeah, I'm pretty excited. You guys may have saw me fool around this on social media. This is a Cyberpunk. World of Cyberpunk 2077. It's a lot of art and a lot of background stories. It's actually thick. It's only like 100 pages. The pages are real thick. This is fucking awesome. It's done by Dark Horse Comics. It's a $40 thing that actually I pre-ordered last year and forgot was coming soon. Of course, the game is supposed to be out now. If you don't know, Cyberpunk 2077, spit that out, is based off a tabletop game. So if you're a D&D player, old school guy like me, this is actually based off a tabletop game. But if you don't know a lot about Cyberpunk and want to learn some shit, this is a great book already. They go through the history of basically modern times through what happens through all the corporate wars and everything. It's pretty fucking amazing so far. So I'm really, really enjoying it. Yeah, November Prime, and everything stops then. Whatever game comes out, whatever I'm playing, that's when I'm playing. November 2077 is when the game comes out, so look for that. And then lastly here, let's pop this up for a minute here. I'm gonna do a little shout out here. All right. If you do not know, Prime, myself, Dude, Forge, many of us have a friend who wrestles in Impact Wrestling, 2 actually. Cousin Jake as well. Jake something, as we like to call him. What's his name? Impact has finally been doing a lot of great stuff recently with our boy Rohit here. They're finally giving him some fucking attention. About goddamn time. The man needs a mic wherever he goes. The man works harder than pretty much everybody on that roster outside of Jake, because Jake Something is one of the most amazing wrestlers out there. They do great in the indies. They get a lot of love in the indies these days. Rohit has got a tag team match with Chris Bay, who has recently been crowned due to Slammiversary the X Division champ. They're tagging up against TJP and Falaba next Tuesday, 8 p.m. right here. You can watch him. Twitch plays all the episodes every Tuesday, 8 p.m. That's right, Forge. He is the Mocha Skin Manimal, and his mother called him son because he shines like one. That's right. He will be in a tag team bout next Tuesday, 8 p.m. Please be there. Support him if you got time. If you're any amount of wrestling fan, I am going to be tonight as well too, or the next day or so, on my personal stream. You're going to start seeing some rotating bots for both Rohit and Jake to make sure you guys get a chance to follow them on Twitter. You can find them on Twitter right now, Jake something _ Rohit Raju / Hakeem Zaim as well, if you want to keep up with them on their social medias. But you know, we do talk a lot about wrestling more and more with Banter and Babble. I'll be doing it a lot more. The Quickies are a good spot for me to get into it as well too, and I want to make sure that I'm helping to promote these guys, because Impact still needs to see Jake a little bit better. But there's a promo, and I should have downloaded the promo. Fuck, I didn't grab the promo. I was gonna do that. That he had this last week on the show that was fucking hilarious. But they're giving Rohit the time he deserves a little bit more now. So, you know, let's keep our fingers crossed that they keep this. You know, I want to make sure that I support my friends, because they're very talented. I love wrestling. I'm a big AEW fan right now. I watch AEW every week religiously, and now I'm watching Impact as well. Instead of just watching their bits, I'm now watching the full show as much as I possibly can. They both have really done a great job recently. So please, if you get a chance, go give them support sometime when they're wrestling. 8 p.m. right here on Twitch. Impact Wrestling. You can't miss the channel. Trust me. You know, get in there, pop in that chat, and give them guys some love, because we really appreciate them. You know, Rohit supports our show, and you find him. Usually he's in chat with us. So, you know, we can't thank him enough as well, too. Dean Malenko is not wrestling, but he is in charge of talent relations with AEW. He's got a pretty big hand in bringing wrestlers in. So, pretty fucking dope, actually, that you say that. So, you need to watch King. I'm not going to tell you for the 7th time this week, but start fucking watching AEW wrestling. I'm telling you right now. For sure. He picked me up on his shoulders, almost threw you in his pool a few weeks back. Yeah, so Rohit's been putting stuff on Instagram of him doing his workout regimens, and it's pretty insane, because knowing him for so long, and the dude, and it's all natural. Like, he doesn't do any dirty shit. Like, the dude is getting on swole. So, you know, let's all oogle him together. The Mocha-Skin Manimal getting buff. Lastly, next week, provided by I get my results for COVID, B&B Banter and Babble will be back 9 p.m. live right here on twitch.tv/Banter and Babble, right here at this channel. We've already got you know, a handful of topics we want to talk about that we're looking to get into. So, provided that I'm okay and I can hang out with Dude and he can jerk me off while we talk, we'll hang out together. You know, we'll hang out and do that. What is wrestling? Yeah. King Cuddle's got a big scar on his hand. I called it his vagina hand. So, he can't get mad at me. You got a vagina hand, man. Yeah, it's wrestling. Yeah, so be there for us next week if you got time. We'd love to have you, 9 p.m. live next Wednesday right on this channel. If you need to get caught up on any of the Banter and Babble quickies, old shows, find us Spotify, YouTube as well. You can find us on Twitter, Facebook. Come give us a peep, give us some lovin's, get in that Discord. If somebody do ! DIS for me, see if we can get that popping off as well too now. We would love to hear your suggestions. I've gotten some great suggestions from people for B&B Quickies. I actually have a list of like 8 things that I'm going to be doing over the next few months for B&B Quickies. I may even be able to pop out more than one a week is my goal, because I'm not really streaming a whole lot for my own personal brand because I don't have that kind of time right now with everything else. But the B&B Quickies are pretty simple, so I can bust them out once or twice a week probably. But that's going to do it for me, everybody. I want to say thank you, as always, from the Dude79 and myself for, your constant support for Banter and Babble, dudes. Like, you know, you guys keep killing it. You guys keep bringing the thunder. You know, you give us all kinds of love all the time. You know, on the social medias, and whether you're retweeting, you're sharing, you're telling people, family members. We can't thank you enough. We do this because, you know, clearly I love attention, but because I love talking with everybody. You guys are all fun, man, and you guys have made this fun. This is really, you know, quite an adventure that me and Dude have decided to partake on, but we're not doing it alone, and that's what makes it more unique than a lot of other things to me, is that you're all involved with us too, you know, including your suggestions. Except for Prime Gaming, he can go fuck himself. We don't give a shit. He just wants some cheddar, but we don't give a shit about him. The hot dog eating king here, the Midwest. There's the go fuck yourself. But again, no. All jokes aside, guys, we really appreciate you. A lot of you have been very kind to us and very accepting. And again, if you've got ideas for us for B&B Quickies, if they suck, I'll give them the Dude. If they're awesome, I'll see what I can, you know, do for you. You know, like I said, I got about a list of 8 things right now that I'm looking at that I want to get into, and I'm excited to talk about with you over the next few weeks. I will say, just to kind of break this back a little bit, as soon as I'm okay with the testing, I am going to have Rohit Raju on here for B&B Quickie in the next couple months, hopefully a few weeks, and he's going to get on the show, and we're going to talk about something as well, too, because, you know, that dude's a big nerd, and, you know, again, I want to make sure that we're giving him... We want to make sure we're promoting. I want to be getting Rohit's face out there all over. You know, he needs to be making that fucking wrestling money, and we want to make sure we're supporting him. So, last thing before I go, Prime says you're the one that has Kogel's 19. I paused myself to say, apparently, as Dude says, I have the Vienna strain. I've got nothing to reply to that. That's pretty fucking funny. Yep. You guys win. Fresh fucking casings. You guys fucking win. Gonna put up that the goodbye screen and say thanks, guys, again. So appreciate you guys. You guys be safe, be well out there as always. Wash your hands, wash your butt, and I'll keep everybody posted on my results hopefully soon. So everybody have a good night. Thank you again for coming through. Appreciate it. It's fun as always. You guys take care. See ya.